Sup, bitch. So, I made another Celestials villain this time. And first of all, as you can already see, the sun is a little bit on screen, but I can't do anything about that. And first of all, fuck Sketchbook and fuck my stupid ass computer. Because if you'll notice, you'll see that the full drawing isn't displayed on the screen right now. Well, that's because I got screwed over by Sketchbook when I was making the thumbnail for this video. For some reason, even though I don't have autosave on, it's somehow autosaved, and maybe it's like some kind of glitched because I literally remembered I remembered that I was literally thinking to myself, I can't save right now or I'll screw up the drawing. And so I didn't save, so my computer somehow did, even though I don't have autosave on. And now, basically, it like glitched out, and now my drawing is stuck in this, and I can't actually, the rest of like this here all got erased. So now I'm just left with half of my drawing. So I could literally, destroy my computer right now because I'm really angry actually, but we're not gonna do that now. But so I had the full drawing, so I'll explain the other pieces of the body later, and you'll just have to use my imagination, but just your imagination. But I'm a little bit out of it right now, and just know that I had the full drawing, so it's not my fault that it looks like this. And also the sun is blocking this, so yeah, I could really just punch my computer into little pieces right now. Okay, so besides my stupid ass computer, let's get into it. So this is Molak. Wait, did I say it right? No, wait. But damn it. I'm just a little bit out of it, but I'm thinking how it was pronounced. Molak. Yeah, Molak. Bleh. Molak. So this is Molak, and basically he's like a fire villain, as you can obviously tell. He's supposed to be like a demon devil type of deal. And he actually looks a lot bigger in the full drawing, but like I said, this all got cut off. And so basically, Molak, like I said, is like a fire demon, and his main attacks is that he can switch between an axe, a hammer, and like a really big greatsword, and he can spit fire. That's to summarize it. But so basically, Molak over here, as you can tell, is a really big muscular demon. And this is actually supposed to be the main villain for, well, not for Celestials, but if you imagined if it was like an actual TV show, like animated and stuff, there would be seasons, right? And so probably every season would have like its own villain, and there would be like a lot of build-up. And this guy would be the season 1 villain. To start us off with a pretty simple theme for a villain is just Satanism. It would just be devil, like a devil. This is not the devil. This is not like Satan, but like just a devil, but like one of the really high rank ones, basically. But I'll explain his backstory soon. And so you can tell he's a pretty big, dangerous guy, and basically. He would use his hammer actually as his main weapon, but I thought the axe looked cooler for in the drawing. And so there wouldn't necessarily have to be an explanation for how he does it, kind of like in video games where you'll see someone pull up something from behind their back, but it just appears out of thin air. But basically he'd be able to use like this really big metal hammer, but it would look like a round hammer, like a ball with like spikes on it, and it would also be like really big and metal. Like I said, with spikes, and he would use this to bash on everyone. Pretty self-explanatory, you know what a hammer can do. And then he would also be able to pull this axe from his back, like I said, kind of out of thin air, or maybe it would have some cool like effect where it appeared out of like shadow magic or something, whatever. So then he also has this Greek style axe with like, as you can see, like these cool rusty like scoring thingies on it, and like a spike. And you can tell the axe is supposed to be really big, but it had to fit on the screen as well, so I made it a little bit smaller. And also he has a greatsword. So, you know, like a greatsword, basically just a really, really big, heavy sword. But because he's so large himself, he can actually swing it around pretty nicely. Oh yeah, also, real quick, go to the link in the description to support me on Patreon. And so I will say though, if you're expecting even cooler designs for the future main villains, because there are more main villains, this guy in terms of design, well, the sun is blocking it, and you can only see half of the drawing, but you can tell this guy is one of the more robust, epic-looking ones, because the other ones are nearly as big. This guy is supposed to be like a little bit of like a giant villain. He's not like an actual like. He's not like where one character would be this big and he's like this big, but he's clearly supposed to be like this really, like say this is like Inferno, then this would maybe, well, it's a bit hard to show with my hands, but say my finger is Inferno, well then my hands would be yeah, that's about the right size. Then my hands would be Molak. So you can tell he's supposed to be like this really big, monstrous villain, but not like like a giant, like super giant, just really big. And basically, wait, where do I start from here? He also has his greatsword, and he would use all these three weapons during battle, and he would also be able to spit fire on his opponents, and maybe even do a little bit of like satanic powers, magic, and maybe bend a little bit of. Bent a little bit of fire out of his hands. Don't mind the skin of my fingers. That's from. Oh, the camera is blurry as hell. What the hell? Okay, so. Oh yeah, the skin from my fingers is from working. So basically, he would use this in battle, and as you can imagine, this would actually be pretty cool. But it doesn't sound as cool now. Well, sorry, I got interrupted here for a moment. So let's continue. So basically, like I said, he would switch in between in battle between his axe, his hammer, and his greatsword. And he would also be able to spit fire, maybe use a little bit of satanic powers. Oh yeah, and this. Wait, I'm trying to explain his attacks without going into the backstory too much for now. But basically, you could imagine. I'm not talking so hyped right now because of the whole stupid ass fucking computer thing. Fuck this dumbass, stupid ass device that screwed over my drawing. But if it didn't screw over my drawing, I would be talking a lot more hyped right now. But because I do think this design's really sick, but you have to realize that now right now I'm just really pissed because of my dumbass computer fucking it up everything. But I mean, you get the impression. Just look at the drawing. This is a really cool ass villain. I'm just not really in the mood right now. Oh man, fucking computers. And so basically, you can tell this guy's like supposed to be this really big badass like villain. And I think he looks awesome. Besides how angry I am right now. And in battle. So basically, this guy would mostly, well, you see there's a hell background, but I'll explain this backstory soon. But basically, he's supposed to fight on Earth, actually, with Inferno and stuff. And so the way things would go down is there would be very gradual build-up. Why does the dumbass sun have to get on my screen as well? There would basically be a really gradual build-up of the story in Season 1, where this Molak guy wouldn't really come into play too much, but then near the ending, they would like it kind of be like teasing. They would maybe hear something about like about him like before the end of the season, and then like gradually there would be this build up, or progressively like Molak starts to well, basically for his backstory, he like gets out of hell and escapes to Earth. Through like a portal from hell, and basically well, I'll explain his motive soon, but he wants to like kill all humans, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And so basically would be this gradual build-up where suddenly he would appear out of hell, and he would start like wreaking havoc on Earth, but not actually in like the town where Inferno lives with his friends. And essentially they would start to hear about this guy, and they would it's hard to explain right now because I'm just looking at a drawing, but you could imagine if this would be like an animated show, that the pacing would be very good, but it's hard to explain. And so basically after a while a lot of things would go down. There would be few encounters, and this guy would basically be really angry, but he would also be very he would mock the heroes as well. And he would kind of like, how do you say this? tempt them to attack him and to like go in a battle, but instead, well, they would definitely fight and stuff, but instead of just blindly attacking, the heroes would also like develop a plan to take this guy down, because he is like basically a big threat. And the whole thing in Celestials is that on average crime rates are very low, so the heroes don't have to do much work locally in their towns, but more like globally around the world and like the universe when there's something going on. But then basically the whole point of a TV show is that something interesting happens, and especially with a hero show, there's going to be more villains. So Celestials, funny enough, would actually focus on the period in Inferno and the hero's life where the most villains would suddenly start popping up near them, near their towns and stuff. And so basically from here, the moment Molak appears, from there on would be like multiple seasons or whatever, if this was an actual show. And you would hear like Inferno maybe even like complain about how suddenly there are so many more like villains and criminals in like the latest few months or like year maybe. And so after like Celestials would be over, things would kind of be more peaceful again now that most threats are gone once again. And so basically they would already have a few small encounters with this guy, a few battles, and this guy has like an army of demons as well. And you can tell he's supposed to be like a little bit like the alpha male or whatever. He's clearly supposed to be the leader. I mean, look at the guy. The whole point of his design is that when you look at him, the first word that comes to mind is testosterone. So even though I'm explaining it very poorly right now, you can imagine like this guy is very, very fierce if you just look at his design. And then there would be like these two final battles with him basically on Earth, and then basically hell on Earth. So when the actual war goes down, like after the first few smaller encounters, then the heroes, including Inferno and stuff from like the hero force, would prepare for like a real big battle against Molak and his army of demons basically. And maybe this would be like in a town that is further away from Inferno's town, but like one of their ally towns that they're befriended with, so that they're allies with, would get attacked by Molak, and maybe they would kind of like lure him into the mountains near the town to avoid more damage to the houses and killing more people, because like in the show the lives are at stake, so they have to like be really careful and stuff. And so you can tell this Molak guy shows no mercy. This guy hates humans and stuff, and he would destroy a lot of buildings, kill a lot of people, but luckily not like in the town where Inferno lives. And then they would lead him into the mountains, maybe. And then the main fight would go down there, first of all. And there would be like structures and, how you say it, it wouldn't just be flat, well, not flat, but empty mountains. There would be like, maybe like little leftover buildings or something that aren't used anymore to make the battlefield a bit more interesting, so you could get items out of the houses or hide behind stuff. And basically, how do I explain this properly? So they would fight, blah blah blah. The Inferno and the heroes would work together, bundle their powers. This guy would use his weapons and stuff, and the demons would help him as well. And then basically after a while, if this guy gets hurt too much, then he would pull out his final move. Basically, well, not like some kind of anime move, but he would have a plan as well. So he would use... basically, he would use bodies of people he killed in this whole final encounter. And he would sort of lay them out in a circle, and this guy doesn't have souls and he needs human blood for this ritual. He would maybe like lay them out in a circle or something really quickly, and then he would start his ritual with his satanic powers, and he would basically open maybe in like another portal to hell, and more demons would come out, and suddenly like the whole sky would turn red and the entire environment would become almost hellish, like hell is leaping out into the earth, and so it would become kind of like hell on earth, but not like the whole planet, just this location with the mountains and stuff. And so you could tell if this was an actual scenario with scenes, that this would be really epic and interesting, because now you would have this giant demon guy with, with a giant Greek axe, a spiked hammer, and a greatsword with an entire army of demons with weapons and like satanic and fire powers, fighting off against the whole like army of superheroes with elemental powers and Inferno and stuff. So you can imagine that it would actually be a lot more interesting if in actual scenes, rather than me explaining this while looking at a drawing, there would be a lot of like specific cool like moves everyone could do. Like there would be scenarios where, like, for example, maybe Molak swings his axe or something, and then Inferno, or maybe Air Force, because Air Force is more of like an acrobatic character. Maybe Air Force would do like a sick move where he jumps onto the axe and then like a rocket launches himself onto Molak and punches him in the face. So you can tell there would be a lot of cool interactions, and the battle scenes would look sick. Um, so yeah, basically this big giant motherfucker with a whole army of demons against like an army of heroes. So this would be really cool. And like I said, this guy shows no mercy, so I'm explaining it poorly, but you could imagine that this guy would be super cool to watch him get into action. And then for his character backstory, Molak over here is basically a demon, like a devil kind of, from hell, because like hell in Christianity is like canonically like exists in Celestials. And so basically Molak over here would be a demon born in hell without a soul. And he would be, how to say it, he would start off as like low rank, and he would be part of like demons that get tortured themselves. But then he would basically rank up in hell by like fighting and getting more status and like beating other demons that were stronger than him. And he would progressively get out of this whole like getting tortured to yourself state, and he would actually become one of the upper demons. And you can tell this guy's like really high rank, like a leader, and so he would basically climb up the ladder of hell and become like one of the most feared demons there. And so he doesn't have wings right now, but he would also be able to grow wings and stuff. And you can see his tail because my dumbass computer cut off the drawing. But I did draw in a full tail on the full drawing. And he's supposed to have like these really big muscular goat legs, but not like fully like with like fur on it, but just really hairy. So we'd have like this big muscular goat legs, a big tail with like metal spikes that are kind of like piercings, because those spikes are, like I said, metal, so they're like jewelry that he put into his tail on his back. And then here also he has his hand with like scars and stuff, basically. And then there's the rest of his axe with like a pointy tip. But you can't see that on the drawing because of my stupid computer. And so basically, this guy would, how do you say it? There would be like technology, like magics, mirrors and stuff, where he would be able to basically spectate Earth, and he would grow to hate the humans, kind of like Satan, in the sense for like multiple reasons that they just don't deserve their glory, and it's not fair that he has to be tortured and stuff. So he'd grow to hate humans, and also he's a demon, he's really psychopathic, so that also helps. And as he would forge a plan to basically get out of hell, and like I said, there's a lot of build up and pacing, and eventually it would work. He would convince a bunch of like a whole army of demons to follow him, because he's like a leader and basically like a warlord in hell. Then he would escape out of hell, and that's where he would go around Earth, destroying entire villages with his whole army, and like basically murdering everyone just because he wants to see the world burn. And yeah, you can kind of tell what's going on here. And so for his character design then, okay, so where do we start? So first of all, big intimidating demon, as you can obviously tell, super cool looking. So he has horns and stupid ass sun getting in the way. He has like satanic red eyes. He has eye scars, a mouth scar here a little bit. You can't see it very well because of the dumbass sun getting in the way as well. Scars here on his hair. He has like a fucked up ear, sharp teeth, a beard, stuff like that. Then here he has like these. You can tell he's supposed to be like this really badass character. So he has less like piercings in his body. So here he has like these two big spikes in his neck with like scars, and his neck is like hanging a little bit because of all the loose skins. He has big vein scars. Then from his neck all the way to his back and his tail, he has metal spikes pierced into his back as well. He would be able to grow wings when he needs it, and he would be also able to retract them back in. Then you can tell he has like a lot of body hair here on his chest, on his shoulders, his arms, and then here, if you pay close attention on his shoulder and like here, and on his chest, he has tattoos. So he has like skulls, goat skulls, 666. Those two like satanic signs. A little bit of scriptures as well. So some more scriptures here, more scriptures here, and maybe it would be like the text would mean something in the sense of like that he hates humans or whatever. And so you can tell this is supposed to be kind of like the school badass, like satanic tattoo on his shoulder with like multiple things with like text and a meaning behind it or something. Um, yeah, so pretty cool. And if you look closely, you actually see some of the tattoos are glowing a little bit in like satanic red, because like I said, he also has like a little bit of magic, satanic powers, and basically some of those tattoos would like light up when he uses his powers, or just light up all the time, so you can see a few of them glow a little bit. And then here he has some, like I said, scriptures here as well. And then scars, a lot of scars. Those are like burn marks. Scars. Lots of muscles, dark colored veins, more veins, really sharp fingers. A lot of scars on the hands and the arms because of like because of all his battles in hell and with his own weapon probably. And so then here you'd have another hand with more scars on it. And then here he has like a little belt with like a metal skull, and then here he would have like a patch to cover up his crotch. And then here you have his big battle axe. So now he's holding the axe, but remember he also has a big spiked metal hammer. He also has like a giant sword that he can like swing around and stuff. And so it has like a spike, it has like etchings in like a cross, scuffed edges, and then it's like a really big long axe. Um, then here he would have his tail, and it would go kind of like this, like up until here, and it would have like a black pointy devil tail thing, like point, with more spikes on the back. And then he would have these really big, strong goat legs with also scars on it, and he would have like goat hooves on his legs. But like I said, I made the full drawing, but you can see it obviously because of my dumbass computer glitching out and screwing me over. So now you have to do it with this and use your imagination. But you can obviously tell how cool he looks and how intimidating he's supposed to look. So I think that's a mission success when it comes to that. And oh yeah, real quick, I also forgot to mention by for the ending for Molak, when he almost dies basically in the end of the battle. Um, he would probably wait, how would this end? So he would tease the heroes a lot, and he would basically make fun of them, like I said. But at the ending, there would be a good chance that after like all the moral stuff of like why would you do this, why would you try to kill everyone and stuff, at the ending when he has like a lot of cuts and bruises, and he's maybe even like lost an arm or something, you could imagine, since Inferno is the main character and you would kind of like fight fire with fire, at the ending Inferno would be fighting him with the help of his other hero friends and his help with the demons. And I feel like it would end in basically him bouncing onto Inferno, and he would drop on the ground, and he would be kind of like stuck, and he would try to kill Inferno. But then at the ending, they would kind of stare at each other, and he would kind of have like this last minute moment of like moral, how do you say it, like rethinking his life a little bit, because at this point he's probably like there with like an arm cut off, like drenched in black blood from himself, and he would be like on top of Inferno, like grabbing him by his neck or something, and would maybe look him in his eyes one last time, and then his eyes would like he would get like pupils, and they would kind of like dilate back to normal, and for a moment he would maybe rethink his decisions, and just like really dramatically like think about maybe just stopping this whole deal and leaving them alone. But then last second as well, he would change his mind again, and then he would just go in for the kill. He would try to bite Inferno's head off, even though that wouldn't technically kill him. But then, like, because he doesn't have a soul, all you have to do is just like cut off his head off or something, and he dies permanently. And then basically when he tries to bite Inferno's head off, Inferno's friend, which I haven't made a video on yet for his design, would probably shoot his head open with a shotgun, and his blood would be like all over Inferno's face, and then he would get off him, and like well, yeah, he would be dead. So I'm not sure if that's the way you want to end him off, but that would probably be the proper ending, to have him like almost like kill the heroes, but it's kind of like 50-50 because he's almost dead. But then he like gets a hold of Inferno, and then last moment he kind of rethinks his decisions, doesn't change his mind, it still goes in for the kill, and then like gets his head shot open with a shotgun. So pretty cool. And yeah, now we can do the outro. For the most part, I think that's it for his design. So basically, you can tell Molak is supposed to be like the season 1 villain that like comes out of hell and like did a lot of badass things, had to go through a lot of torture. He hates humans, blah blah blah. He's an absolute monster with his axe and like spiked hammer. He can he can swing around a giant sword and like create cavities in the ground. He would scratch people open with his fingernails. His demons would attack them. He would split them in two with the axe. He would smash their skull in with hammers. He would basically like slice them in little pieces, into two pieces with his giant sword. He would spit fire on you. He would be able to fly and maybe like pounce onto you. He would be able to punch you so hard that you would probably die. So yeah, pretty cool looking character. I really liked his design. That's exactly why I was so angry that my computer screwed me over. And yeah, I kind of had it for now, because I didn't really feel like filming a video after I got screwed over by my computer, so I'm gonna stop it here. Whoopa. Wait, just to get a proper look, maybe get the sun out of the way one last time. There we go. Looks badass. Okay. I've absolutely had it with my dumb computer, and I'm gonna be cranky now. So see you in the next one. Bye, bitch.